Well, it's 9 p.m. on this very, very sad Monday when pupils left their homes this morning alive and healthy, only to die in the most tragic of ways. We have full coverage of the deaths at dawn, but first, let's take a look at the highlights. Tonight, 7 dead, 2 fighting for their lives, and 10 injured.
When we were revising science in class, we saw the iron sheet vibrating going up.
Tulisikia madesk zikituangukia.
Another school tragedy and another government pledge.
The investigations are ongoing, but we are still collecting the information on what might have caused this one.
Plus, dreams and ambitions shattered.
She was a genius.
Top students at Precious Talent Top School among those killed.
Hakupata any injury. Inaonekana alistuka.
And bees leave pupils nursing injuries.
Alikuwa amelaliwa na kiti.
Tulikutana na watoto wakilia, wanajikuna, wanasema nyuki nyuki.
Hundreds injured, learning disrupted in Kanyariri, Kiambu County. Also tonight, not resting in peace just yet.
Only 8 of them could come back. We need 10 for that process to go on.
Dutch tycoon's burial moved to Tuesday.
Sarah is disappointed. She would have preferred that this final journey is concluded today.
NTV Tonight with Ken Mijungu.
Welcome to the broadcast tonight. My co-pilot is David Agondoa. Let's begin our broadcast. And the nation today woke up to devastating news, an overwhelming introduction to the deaths at dawn. The threadbare walls of the structures that house pupils of Precious Talent Top Academy on Ngong Road fell apart, killing 7 pupils and leaving 64 others with serious injuries. From the messy rubble, it is clear that the structure was frail, supported only by wooden pillars and bent iron rods. But none of those in authority will own up to the tragedy or admit they failed these children. The early morning events only setting off a chain reaction. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha, for example, said the school will be closed for 4 days to allow for investigations into what happened. He also ordered an audit of all schools to ensure safe places for learners. Sentiments echoed by Deputy President William Ruto. Meanwhile, the community is demanding for answers for a tragedy that scarred them. And NTV reporter said Olale was at the scene during the first chaotic moments after the tragedy, and he now joins us in studio with a live report. Seth, you reported on this. What was it like?
Well, Ken Mijungu, it was a very sad state of affairs. The first scene, what I saw the very first when I arrived at Ngando was actually a body in a bag, and residents there, neighbors, everyone that was gathered there were like wailing so loudly, and this was a very terrifying moment. And it was a very painful experience also for some of the affected parents who just came. I remember that there was this particular lady just came and fell upon learning of the incident. And Ken, is also good or worth mentioning that there are a lot of concerns about the material that was used to build this particular facility. And let's hear with me, this is what I picked actually from the scene. This is basically what was used to construct that one-story facility at Precious Talent School. As you can see, the size and the weight of this particular wire, and this is supposed to be the concrete that is supposed to hold an entire upper 3 classes, each class having approximately 35 pupils. As you can see, this is just some of the concerns that have been raised by the multi-agency, and of course this also led to a lot of outrage in regards to safety in schools. But first, with a recap of what transpired during the day.
The clamor and chaos of the morning hours had almost dissipated the time 50-year-old Meshach Nabuto arrived at his son's school. But the devastation was still apparent. Boniface Nabuto, a class 3 pupil, survived the morning tragedy and the first confusing hours at the Precious Talent Academy when the walls of the semi-permanent structure came crashing down on its occupants. The school day had started as normal. The students had settled in for the day's first lesson until at about 7:30 a.m. when the chicken mesh, wood, iron sheets and concrete that held the structure together slumped, instantly killing 7 pupils and injuring over 60 others. Pupils of grade 6, 7 and 8 who were housed on the ground floor were the most affected as they were trapped in the rubble. The upper classes housed grade 2, 3 and 4 pupils. Boda riders operating nearby were among the first respondents. They were jolted by a loud bang. Using just sticks, they dug through the rubble before rescue teams arrived moments after 8 a.m. to rescue the about 60 pupils trapped underneath. Although there was no exact estimate of the number of pupils inside the 6 classes where the building came down, there are about 800 pupils at the school.
Hizi nyumba ambayo zinachengwa za mabati zinawekelewa ghorofa juu, tafadhali katika serikali yetu ya Kenya naomba tusiondolewe.
The school owner, Moses Wanaina, termed the incident a tragic accident and blamed the Nairobi County government that recently dug a sewer line behind the classroom, possibly weakening the building's foundation.
The government, through my ministry, is going to continue to monitor and assure the safety of all our children.
Ningependa nijulishe wananchi.
Local political leaders who attempted to address the crowd were booed. The rest of the pupils and affected teachers were temporarily sheltered at the nearby St. Joseph Catholic Church. The Kenya Red Cross has set up an information center at the entrance of the school for counseling and post-trauma services. Just 24 hours before the tragedy, parents, students and teachers of Class 8 pupils had gathered at this particular facility to offer prayers for their beloved ones in the wake of the upcoming national examinations. The same lot is gathered here today to mourn and to offer a message of condolences to those affected as Precious Talent Academy remains shut down for the next 4 days. It is our prayer that the precious lives of those who perished will rest in eternal peace. Seth Olale, NTV, Ngando.
Indeed, a similar information desk has been set up at the Kenyatta National Referral Hospital, which will also act as a counseling facility. Well, that is just a brief of what went down today, Ken.
Right, thanks very much, and we'll be back on the ground tomorrow, and this is a story that will follow until its logical conclusion. Away from the ruined facade, parents were looking for their loved ones in hospitals, not knowing whether they will find them dead or alive. NTV's Sharon Baranga witnessed the agony of the parents camped at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where 64 pupils were being treated, and a huge relief for those reunited with their loved ones.
At the Kenyatta National Hospital, some parents whose children schooled at the Precious Talent Stop Academy in Dagoretti sat, camped out and abandoned waiting for any news on the well-being of their children. Their patience, however, started to wear out when no information was forthcoming. 64 pupils being attended to here had survived the morning tragedy when their classrooms caved in on them.
Only 2 are relatively critical, but the others are stable now. Most of them we have done CT scans, we have done X-rays, and they have been examined by our doctors, the surgeons, even the specialized pediatric surgeons. And we are happy to say that so far most of them are stable.
And around 2 p.m., the spirits of some of the fallen parents were lifted. An emotional reunion between parents and their children since they parted ways in the morning. Some of those discharged were, however, still in pain.
When we were revising science in class, we saw the iron sheet vibrating going up. Then when we were trying to escape, the roof fell from up to down for us where we were standing. Yes. Then a log hit my head and my back.
Tukiwa shule tukiandika, tulisikia madesk zikituangukia. Alafu watu wakaanguka. Tukaangukia klasi zenye zilikuwa chini.
Akapata mtoto ako na fracture kwa mguu, so mtoto akatumwa Kenyatta, maana walikuwa wamesema mtoto anaweza kuwa na injury ya ndani, internal injury.
Ni kumshukuru Mungu juu nimepata watoto wangu wakiwa salama. Ninamshukuru Mungu zaidi, hata wenye wamefiwa na watoto wao Mungu akaweza kuwafariji na kuwaonekania.
These are the lucky ones. 7 of the schoolmates were crushed to death. Some other injured pupils were being treated at the Mid-Hill, Melchizedek and Mbagathi hospitals.
Our very sincere condolences to the families of the children that today in the morning perished in this tragedy in Gando area of Dagoretti South constituency.
The parents want the government to ensure a public primary school is constructed in the area so that the safety of their children in school is assured.
The day started off well for pupils and parents at the Precious Talent Academy in Dagoretti, but as fate would have it, the day took a turn, one that has changed the lives of pupils, parents and the teachers forever. Sharon Baranga, NTV, at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
And as you mentioned, this event in the morning kicked off a chain reaction, and agencies involved in the construction industry in the capital will be under scrutiny following this morning's tragedy that left a community traumatized. NTV's Brenda Wanga reports that from the City Hall to the Ministry of Education and the National Construction Authority, questions are being asked of just who among them failed these children.
The early morning building collapse in Dagoretti, Nairobi County, that has left 7 children dead and 10 injured, now shines a spotlight on the state of the construction industry in the county and the country. A cursory glance on the rubble from the building shows what experts confirm was a shoddy job at best and substandard at worst.
Chuma ambazo zimetumia sio chuma, ni waya ile ya kuku. Hiyo inatakiwa kubeba uzito wa kuku peke yake ama kuzuia kuku.
Ukitaka kujenga nyumba, utakana uchimbe foundation, alafu ujenge ukuta mzuri, alafu uweke slab na kokoto mzuri na chuma ya kushikilia. Inaitwa kwa Kiingereza reinforced concrete slab.
This tragedy has brought the rot in the construction industry at the doorstep of the Nairobi County Planning Department. The process of getting a building off the ground in Nairobi involves clearing 22 processes that starts at the Survey of Kenya and ends at the National Construction Authority. The bulk and significant processes are processed at City Hall under the Planning Department. It is this department that issues approved architectural plans, construction permits and structural plans, but it is also the department that is bedeviled by graft.
Mtu wa county government alikuwa amejua, lakini nafikiri kwa sababu ya corruption alikuwa you look the other way.
In a statement, the Nairobi governor concedes that indeed his planning department has been flouting the Physical Planning Act and zoning regulations by approving buildings that don't meet set standards. This they do by switching off the digital systems at City Hall in an elaborate scheme to bypass the official channels and issue building approvals. In a recorded phone interview, the governor calls out the now suspended county chief officer for planning, Justice Kadhenge, over the switch off of the digital systems.
Most hapo iko disconnected. Wamekatia kwao. Ni kwao, you know they are the ones who have been caught. Oh. Si hapa kwetu. So host wamekata na World Bank pia wamekata. Ipande hapo, unajua host akikata, you know it's not yes. Ipande hapo.
The entire planning committee has since been disbanded. The Ministry of Education is also carrying its fair share of the blame.
Something like this can slip your sight. And I want to take responsibility as the minister and government who is responsible
The ministry is expected to regularly inspect buildings in schools to ensure safety of learners. The ministry insists that the school was duly registered, which would imply that either the registration was done without a site visit or was done in spite of the state of the building.
That I will continue to inspect and to ensure that people comply with the law.
The National Construction Authority, whose mandate includes oversight and coordination of the construction industry, says that the building wasn't even registered with it.
It is the responsibility of the owner to register that project with the National Construction Authority so that we're able to get a compliance certificate. That means that by the time they come for a compliance certificate or registration for that matter, they have already obtained all the necessary approvals. They have county approval, they have other agencies' approval.
The authorities are now waiting on a conclusive report on just who dropped the ball and took the lives of innocent children and scarred others, maybe for life. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
And as authorities trade blame, this morning's event hit closer home to the family of David Njeru, who lost their firstborn daughter and the school's brightest star, expected to carry the school's hopes in this year's KCPE exams. NTV's Victor Kiprop shares the family's heartbreak that also captions the community's collective sense of grief and loss.
For Reverend David Njeru, today, the day started just like any other. That's until he received a phone call that would shatter his world. The caller bore some unfortunate news about an incident at the Precious Talent School, but there was nothing on the fate of his two children, Jemine and Season.
That this class has collapsed, and immediately, because I was very far, I called my wife. Then I asked her to just go and check our children.
But when his wife arrived in the school, she could not trace their firstborn daughter, Jemine Siti Njeru. The family then started off on a fruitless search for their daughter in different hospitals around the school, including the Kenyatta National Hospital, where the injured had been taken. But soon, another call came in, with the caller bearing even more tragic news.
The person who called me actually used her phone, but she did not disclose her name. But she just, she said, "You just come quickly, come quickly." And I said, "No, I'm the dad. Tell me what has happened." And then the sad news was broken that our precious daughter is no more.
But yeye hakupata any injury. Inaonekana alistuka. So venye alistuka ni kama hivyo tu ndio alistuka akaenda. So ingekuwa tu na mtu, at least mimi ndio najiuliza hivyo. If there was someone angemsaidia maybe at that time, but it was like that.
Jemine had just turned 14 a month ago and was preparing for national examinations later next month.
She was very, very jovial, very performing, and actually she was aspiring to be a medical doctor. And in that particular school, actually she was the top. She was index number 1.
She was a genius. From pre-unit, alianza kushow up, ako pre-unit, but anajua mambo yote, anaweza jua hata class 2 work na ako pre-unit. Sasa walimu wakaanza kunotice. Yeye hajawahi kushindwa, she's number 1 mpaka class 8. Mpaka sasa wenye tulikuwa tunawaangalia, tunangojea wafanye class 8, yeye target yake ilikuwa 433 na alikuwa ametuahidi, anatuambia mama, I'll make you proud. Hata tulikuwa tunajua tutamuona kwa kaseti.
But now, all those beautiful dreams and ambitions have withered and died, even as the parents try to find answers.
It is a very, I don't know, I can't. But pray for us, maybe God has answered.
In what is becoming its textbook response to every incident, the government has promised to leave no stone unturned in investigating who was at fault in this morning's tragedy. But on how and when that happens, only time will tell. Victor Kiprop, NTV, Nairobi.
And today, no doubt, was a very difficult day for children. Let's go to Kiambu County, where the pupils of Kanyariri Primary School may have survived death, but they lived through a most traumatizing experience after some of bees attacked them while in class. Now, two are still hospitalized, as Anita Nkonge now reports.
It was like something out of an apocalyptic movie set here at the Kanyariri Primary School.
Tuliamshwa na duru ya watoto wakisema duru
na tukasikia hiyo duru imezidi sana. Hatujazoea hiyo makelele kutoka shule.
Students' efforts to run for cover proved futile as a swarm of bees began a vicious assault on them. Some who tried to help were unable to.
Tulikutana na watoto wakilia, wanajikuna, wanasema nyuki nyuki, na tukataka kujua kenye kinaendelea shule. Tulipofika hapa hatungeweza kuingia gate, hatungeweza kuingia darasani, hatungeweza kuingilia kwa fence. Ikabidi sasa tusikize tu duru tukiwa helpless.
Others, however, braved the swarm and helped rescue some students.
Nikaingia class 5, kule ndio nilikuta mtoto amelala chini, alikuwa amevaa t-shirt na kulala kwa tumbo, alafu alikuwa amelaliwa na kiti. Mimi nikamuinua na kutoa nje. Ndipo nilisaidiwa na wanaume wawili.
2 of the school's 177 pupils were referred to the Kiambu Level 5 hospital for special treatment, as the Kiambu County Disaster Management Team also helped move the pupils out of the school compound and to the Wangige Health Center, where they were treated and discharged. It is still not clear what may have provoked the bees to attack, but they had been perched on one of the school compound trees. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
All right, now to some important tips. If a bee bumps into you, it's not by accident. Please run. And if a colony of bees think you are a predator, it first sends out a few guard bees to warn you away by headbutting you. That's what happens. The first thing you feel is just one single headbutt. Now, if you feel that headbutt, run, because the next thing that comes is full-scale attack by the entire hive. Run, and don't hesitate. Don't fight them. All you're going to do is to give them time to get hundreds and thousands more, as I said, the whole hive. Now, if there's no attack yet, hold your breath. And this is the reason why. Hold it. Literally, hold your breath. Now, bees' primary sense is that of smell. By holding your breath, you won't exactly help when there's a whole swarm on you, but it might give you some time to get away. Only a few bees are still hovering at that time. So hold your breath. And don't flail your arms or don't swat the bees when you see them. Now, most people's immediate response to a nearby bee is to brush it off or to shoo it or swat it. Unfortunately, to the bee, that doesn't signal so much as go away. Actually, what it does is they think it's a big, angry predator coming to attack them. So they will come in droves. And finally, if you're stung, forget what you've heard about the dangers of pulling the stinger out. Just do it. Pull it out. All right, those are useful tips from the U.S. Department of Interior, National Park Services, and those are very useful tips, so next time you know how to react. Now let's move on to other stories also making headlines. The burial of slain Dutch tycoon Tob Cohen has been postponed to tomorrow. This is after the organizers only managed to get 8 Jewish rabbis instead of 10, as is dictated by the Jewish customs. Earlier, the High Court had allowed Cohen's wife, Sarah Wairimu Kamoto, to attend the private ceremony. NTV's Zainab Ismail reports.
Preparations for the burial of the late Tob Cohen had started early on Monday at the Jewish cemetery along Forest Road in Nairobi. At around 1 p.m, Sarah Wairimu was escorted by police from the Langata Women's Prison, where she is still remanded, as the court agreed to grant her leave to attend the ceremony. Tob's brother, Bernard Cohen, arrived shortly after, accompanied by lawyers representing both Tob's family and wife, Sarah Wairimu. But about 2 hours later, we were informed that the burial will not be happening as expected.
According to the Jewish community, a person of Cohen's stature, priest by that name, there must be 10 other priests present, including the rabbi who is in charge of the funeral, for this to go on. By the time we got the order at about 11, the burial permit, and to raise them and to prepare the body, it is not going to be possible because getting them all together at one go is quite difficult.
Of course, Sarah is disappointed. She would have preferred that this final journey is concluded today.
Cohen's sister, Gabri Cohen, will however not attend the burial, as she is reported to have traveled back to the Netherlands.
You know, she has been here since the investigation started, and that was quite a long period of time. But then now she had to travel back because she had other pressing issues and other matters to attend to. And on the day she traveled, which was Friday night, the brother Bernard, who is here, who is present, had appeared. and he's going to be in charge of the family now.
Jewish funeral rituals have traditionally followed a strong set of customs and beliefs. At least 10 Jewish adults or priests, traditionally males, is required to recite the prayers.
Sarah Wairimu's lawyers have now sought a variation order from the court to allow her to attend the late Top Cohen's burial tomorrow ahead of her appearance in court on Thursday, where she is expected to take plea. Zainab Ismail, NTV.
Well, still ahead in this broadcast, we'll tell you why these road transporters were in the streets railing against the government. Stay with us.
Make a new reality where the world stops and takes notice. Make the wheels of commerce spin by your energy and innovation. Make livelihoods. Make industries. Make economies. For you who make dreams real, we move what you make. We move the fruit of your effort to faraway lands. We move the best the world has so you can make what's ours even better. You make, we move. Kenya Ports Authority, growing business, enriching lives.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
To the out-of-framers, the turtleneckers, the fruit growers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt, and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel. Join the millions that have switched to Dettol Even Tone, now also in pomegranate fragrance, a healthier skin for an even better you. Brought to you by the Kenya Consortium of Medical and Health Professionals. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Are you looking for quality rental property investment or a place to call home within close proximity to major business, social amenities, and newly built infrastructure? The Grand Eben is an elite architectural jewel strategically located along Ngong Road, just 10 meters from the dual carriageway, 2 kilometers from the lavish Ngong Racecourse and Golf Club, and within a walking distance from the Junction Mall. The ongoing road infrastructure development, turning Ngong Road into a dual carriageway, signifies that the Grand Eben investors will benefit from rental demand in the short term and value appreciation over the medium term. Experience the grand life by scheduling a site visit to our show house today and enjoy a special offer from 12 million shillings only. Call 0707 111 777 or visit us online at www.rochman-properties.co.ke. Rochman Properties Limited, delivering the promise always.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there. Selena, it's great seeing you getting so much value for your money.
Well, it's important to save as much as you can.
You save everywhere. Except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain.
How?
On these cleaning products.
Impossible.
Harpic 10X. While other cleaners flow away, Harpic 10X viscous formula in only 1 round of application gives you sparkling, clean toilet. Harpic, 10 times better cleaning than other cleaning products.
And great savings too.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up.
But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
You in the pollution? Yes, you. Dry throat? Strepsils. Gal in the smoke with a raspy voice? Strepsils. Hello, in the downpour with a scratchy throat? Take Strepsils. Get soothing relief for any throat irritation. Strepsils with medicinal ingredients will heal the harm down to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, shower head, basin, and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
Come on, put your hands together. Hey, hey. One nation, one worship. A call to pray for the city and nation is an interdenominational worship experience like no other, happening on the 27th of September at KICC from 6 to 11 p.m. Join as we come together as a nation to worship as one people. Entry absolutely free. One nation, one worship.
Cook at the stove.
Ni kama haiko.
What?
Kapatia mtu wa malimali akatu exchange na pegs.
My enemy on his new bike. #goals. #child support. Flying.
Watoa tax au pata nimeng'oa mlango. Nikasafisha kila kitu kwa keja.
Sipaida wewe na kutambua.
I need more money for Liam's upkeep. That 50,000 is not enough.
MYes. Season 4.
Okash is the quickest and easiest way to request short-term loans from your mobile phone whenever you need them. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings in one day and choose between a 15 or 29-day term to repay it. Download Okash today from Google Play Store, enjoying the Okash experience.
And to Mombasa now, where transport was paralyzed between Mombasa's Makupa and Changamwe area after road transporters poured into the streets protesting the government's directive to have all cargo on from Mombasa to Nairobi hauled via the standard gauge railways. NTV's Kevin Mutai was there and tells us why they are concerned.
They marched from Makupa roundabout from 9 o'clock Monday, demanding the suspension of the directive effected by the Kenya Ports Authority and the Kenya Revenue Authority to have all cargo transported to Nairobi via the SGR.
Kama clearing agents, kama transporters, kama all kinds of businesses in Mombasa zimeharibika kwa sababu ya kitu kimoja tu, monopoly ya kutumia SGR kama the only source ya kupeleka mzigo Nairobi. Na kitu kingine tunataka kuomba sasa na tujulishe serikali kwamba tumeanza tu, we have just started. We are not going to relent on this. Na hii sio political, kama tunavyosisitiza kila wakati. Hii si chama ya siasa, we are not politically affiliated to anyone. Hatuna mrengo wote wa siasa ambao tunategemea sisi. Tunajitegemea kama wafanyabiashara wa Mombasa.
They claim that thousands of people have been rendered jobless following the closure of container freight stations, as long-distance truck drivers also complain of being unable to ferry containers from the port city.
Nimeweza kuyazungumza ndani na nje ya bunge kuhusiana na masala ya SGR. Ni jipo ambalo kwamba limekuwa likijificha kwa muda mrefu. Sasa hivi kila likizidi kuiva, tunaona sasa ya kuwa linaanza kuchipuka, na tunasema ya kuwa ni muhimu sana ule uchafu ulioko uweze kutolewa ili uchumi wetu uweze kuendelea.
The protesters are threatening to go on with their demonstrations until the government engages all players in the transport industry in resolving the matter. Recently, a study conducted by the University of Nairobi indicated that the county government of Mombasa has lost billions of shillings in terms of revenue collection since the operationalization of the SGR. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
Well, let's now switch focus to the health sector. And even though a majority of you believe the universal health coverage is a good idea, there are still misconceptions and some knowledge gaps about what it is and how it works. Now, this is according to findings by a research firm Infotrack, and our health reporter Eunice Omolo breaks down some of the myths around this program.
It's been slightly over 9 months since the government rolled out the pilot phase of universal health coverage in 4 counties, namely Kisumu, Nyeri, Machakos and Isiolo. But a survey done by Infotrack and Consulting shows there's a gap in creating awareness on the program. The study showed that a majority, that is 69% of Kenyans, are still not aware of the UHC program. Similarly, there exist misconceptions on what UHC is all about. For instance, a majority of Kenyans, that is 59%, believe that with an UHC card, one can access healthcare services in any healthcare facility in the country, whether public or private, while another 52% believe that even with a card, one has to be a member of NHIF to access healthcare services.
People who have actually used UHC on what they would advise government to do to make UHC a desirable and successful program. The first thing that was mentioned by 36% of Kenyans is that it should be used in all hospitals, private and public. That is the message from the pilot counties. The second message the pilot counties, UHC pilot counties are giving government is increase the medicine supply in the health facilities. That was mentioned by 30%.
While the UHC aims at offering better access to healthcare, 7 out of 10 Kenyans are not satisfied with healthcare service delivery by the national and county governments. 39% of those dissatisfied with the UHC program cited inadequate medicines, while 37% were not impressed by the long time it takes to receive service in healthcare facilities.
Those factors have been highlighted as one of the reasons why Kenyans have developed a liking for UHC. However, there are some ambiguities in that those who are in the pilot counties believe that UHC is free. However, they are not aware that it will not be so as soon as the national rollout is done. Therefore, there's been recommendations that the government insist on creating awareness on what really UHC is and how it's going to run. Eunice Omolo, NTV.
Now you know. And away from that, some residents of Eldoret town are counting losses after a huge tree fell on 2 cars that had been parked near a hotel following heavy rains that also destroyed the roofs of some business premises. And if you live in Eldoret, you have been experiencing the heavy rains. Now, as a result of that, a heavy traffic snarl-up formed around Caltex area along the Eldoret-Webuye Road as a result as the tree blocked the highway and cut power cables, and the Kenya Power and Lighting Company officials had to be called in to help clear the road. Some traders from Bakon area in Eldoret also lost property after the heavy winds blew the roofs of their business premises. They desperately tried to salvage whatever remained. The residents are now calling on the county government to ensure all trees around the town are cut down to avoid future disasters.
Mukiona ile damage imefanyika, kuna nyumba paa haziko,
fensi hakuna ile nini ya kuhusia tiketi, yote imeletwa pande hii.
Sasa imeleta hasara kubwa sana. Gari 2 imekongwa hapa, hata yangu sijui nitaunda na nini.
Right, still ahead.
You are distinctive. You are esteemed. You are remarkable. You are exceptional. And so should be your investment. Standard Investment Bank Limited is licensed and regulated by the Capital Markets Authority as the first online forex trading money manager trading as Mansa X. With Mansa X, you enjoy investment diversification away from traditional asset classes. It is highly liquid, enabling you to access funds any time with minimal loss of value. Our expertise is unmatched, spanning over 20 years. Invest with Mansa X today, Kenya's first and only regulated online forex trading money manager.
How can I be a champion runner?
Well, you've got to be like a geisha ball. Staying strong and going so far.
Be strong and last long. Like geisha.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
We all dread welcoming unexpected guests to our homes, but they come anyway. The unexpected can come in the form of fire, floods, or even burglars. Prepare for the unexpected. Protect your assets with home insurance. To learn more, this message is brought to you by the Association of Kenya Insurers.
Je, biashara imekwama na hauna kakitu? School fees hauna na kumekauka? Au ni token zimeisha na huna cash? Usiwori, kwani unaweza chukua Senti. Senti inatatua mahitaji yako yote ya kifedha. Download Senti kutoka Play Store upate cash instantly. Terms and conditions apply.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity.
That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
For maximum cavity protection.
and now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh bread. Only 15 shillings.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, mister. Where you going?
Men clean their cars themselves. I'll also clean my own bike. I'm grown up now.
Then you'll need this. The most pleasant surprise for a mother is to see her child growing up. But I know as he learns to take more responsibility, he'll face more dirt, germs, and the risk of illness.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol cleans and protects against 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
NTV Business News in association with Sanlam Kenya.
Let's get down to business. Welcome. I am Julian Amboko. The Kenya Pipeline Company has re-advertised for the position of Managing Director. The re-advertisement of the post has come about because the board did not find an adequate number of qualified applicants to proceed to the next stage of interviews in the previous recruitment process. The board says all those who had applied earlier need to reapply afresh. The MD's position under parastatal is a hot seat given the billions of shillings at the firm's disposal, coupled with the critical infrastructure it oversees. Corruption scandals have engulfed some of the previous occupants of the position, with litigation ongoing in some cases. And the financial services sector is now the largest contributor to tax revenue in the country, having dislodged manufacturing from the top position in the period between July 2018 and June 2019. According to the National Treasury, the top three contributors of tax revenue are financial services and insurance at 18.4%, manufacturing at 18.2%, and information, which accounts for 15%. The declining share of manufacturing in contribution to tax revenue is an indicator of the challenges being faced by players in the sector, notably stiff competition from cheap imports. And over 150,000 travelers were left stranded and tens of thousands of jobs reported to be at stake after British tours and travel firm Thomas Cook went bankrupt on Monday. Rising pressure on the sterling pound has been widely blamed for the headwinds that have pushed the company into a nosedive, signaling the impact that uncertainty around Brexit is inflicting on businesses. The United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority on Sunday announced that all Thomas Cook's bookings, including flights and holidays, had been cancelled. Repatriation of stranded clients is underway. The company was founded in 1841 and is one of the iconic British brands. Growth in credit to the private sector stood at 6.3% in August 2019, the highest level reported since the law capping interest rates came into force 3 years ago. According to the Monetary Policy Committee's statement released by the Central Bank of Kenya following Monday's meeting, the rebound in the uptake of credit to the private sector is driven by the trade and manufacturing sectors. The technocrats at the central bank retained the benchmark rate at 9%, implying the cost of accessing loans remains capped at 13%. The retainment of the rate comes just a week after the National Assembly's Committee on Finance and Budgeting issued a report on the Finance Bill of 2019 rejecting a proposal to repeal the cap on lending rates. The old town of Lamu risks having insufficient facilities in hospitality to handle the human traffic that is expected to spike once the Lamu Port Southern Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor, or LAPSET, gets completed. The first berth of the project, which is set to offer the highest transshipment capability in East and Central Africa, is complete, but there is no indication that a commensurate level of investment is taking place in hospitality. In the interim period, as construction goes on, Lamu continues to host visitors, including regional leaders who are keen to wrap their minds around the scope of the project.
When I saw the Mombasa port, and this port, it is 3-4 times than that of Mombasa. And this will help, because South Sudan is a landlocked, and if it opens, it will help us. It will make a change of life, because there will be highway going there, there will be railway going there.
And finally, the government will establish an export delivery unit to tame the huge trade imbalance that sees foreign goods flood the local market and Kenyans enrich other nations in the process. According to the Principal Secretary at the State Department of Trade, Dr. Chris Kipto, the government is negotiating with various foreign states to ease trade barriers, hindering Kenya's exporters from accessing the bigger portion of the global market. Expansion of Kenya's export challenge for the country. He spoke at the launch of a 5-year strategic plan for the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, KEFIS.
And we believe in following the rules of international trade, which means we cannot restrict imports when they qualify to come to our market, because we also need to access that other market. So what we are doing then is, through our manufacturing strategy, is to try and attract investments and produce products that are being imported. And that way, you are import substituting without necessarily bringing in any restrictions on imports.
And up next, we have the financial report.
NTV Financial Report, in association with Kenya Ports Authority. NTV Financial Report, in association with Kenya Ports Authority.
We move what you make. Kenya Ports Authority. Growing business, enriching lives.
And that's it from the business and financial desk. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
At Sanlam, we truly understand the value of each promise. And for over 100 years, we have been keeping promises for all our clients. Sanlam, every promise needs a keeper.
Tusonge mbele na Fiber Mobile. Get a Fiber SIM card today and enjoy Tusonge mbele bundles at affordable prices.
Delta Properties is pleased to introduce Taji Residence, contemporary apartments with conventional 3-bedroom and duplexes plus DSQ in Kilimani, offering an 8-year payment plan at 0% interest. It comprises of the state-of-the-art facilities like swimming pool, gym, spa, a rooftop terrace, a standby backup generator, and a borehole. You are invited to the open days on 28th and 29th September in Kilimani along Nyangumi Road. Call us today on 0743 744 271.
Ngeni, pole su, nimejaa.
Nini? Tunakujua kwa nini wazee wetu wanapotelea kwako.
Ndio tuko tunataka kujua siri yako.
Siri ndio hiyo. Introducing the new salad oil with a spout for easy use. Comes packed with omega-6 and 9 and vitamin A and D and at a price that doesn't dent your wallet.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Salad. Siri ndio hiyo.
The baby bundle fair is coming up in a few days. We can get to shop for baby number 2. With the amazing deals on offer, we could actually pick few items for Kila.
Actually, I'm on their website now and I can see they have interesting activities over the 3 days. And some stuff for dads too.
Well, let's not miss even a day.
Come to the Baby Banda Fair at the Sari from 4th to 6th of October 2019.
Download the Glovo app today, and when you need anything, order Glovo and we'll deliver it in minutes.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
NTV Tonight with Ken Mijungu.
All right, just before Ida Waringa with sports, many young Kenyans are having to find alternative work in the informal sector for lack of white-collar jobs. But for Kevin Muthini, his venture into car wash business also helped the Moi University Bachelor of Arts degree graduate pay for his education. Here is his story in this week's My Job segment.
My name's Kelvin Muthini. I'm a graduate from Moi University. I graduated last week, but won the degree in economics. Nimekuwa nikifanya kazi hapa kutoka last year June, na nimekuwa nikipata fees yangu, part of it from here, na pesa ya upkeep. So hii kazi imenisaidia sana. Tunaosha magari ya watu wakubwa hapa na ni kazi yenye imenisaidia sana. Kwa siku on a good day naweza osha magari 10. Of which hiyo ni pesa nzuri ya yenye inanisaidia kutimiza mahitaji yangu. Nilitafuta hii kazi ya kuosha magari kwa sababu nilikuwa nataka pesa za kunisaidia shule, ku raise school fees, kwa sababu nilikuwa napata help, lakini pesa ya help ilikuwa kidogo, so ikabidi nimetafuta side hustle yenye itanisaidia nikiwa shule, maisha yangu ikuwe comfortable, kulipa rent na small expenses za shule. My situation at home, niliona mimi ni mwanaume na naweza tafuta pesa, naweza fanya kazi kivyangu na ni raise pesa zangu badala ya kupiga simu nyumbani, kuitisha pesa nyumbani kila saa. So hiyo ndio ilinipush nikatafuta my means of survival. Mipango zangu za baadaye na natarajia hivi penye nimegraduate with a degree in economics, nitapata kazi place ingine and ku enhance my skills, my professional skills. Idea kwa sababu nimekuwa hapa na deal na customers from all over the country. So itanisaidia hata mahali penye Mungu atanifungulia njia niende, itaendelea tu na hizo skills zenye nimepata hapa kudeal na customers vizuri, alafu hiyo hard work na ku make sure improve the image of the company where I will go. On a good week naweza tengeneza 4,500, of which is a good money.
Ako display. Kevin ana maneno, hata mahali ataenda, ikiwa kuna mtu atapatia Kevin kasi na Faith, watakuwa wamepata watu. Kwa vile wanaosha magari, hatuwezi kusema ati huyu anaosha hii mingi hapa, no. Ukiwa number 1 kuingia vilacho, wewe ndio utakuwa kwanza kuosha gari.
So if you went to university and did a management course, so you use the management training to manage your own business, because I can tell you for free, nobody is ready to come and employ people just because they have gone to university or they have graduated from colleges. No, once they are in vacation from university, they can still come back here and work part-time. They will be paid their money, and that is how it should be, because they should not depend on their parents alone to fund their education.
Kwa maoni yangu sioni kama kuna kazi yenye imesaidia watu fulani, kwa sababu pesa ni pesa na mtu anaweza fanya kazi yoyote ukingoja another doors to open. So changamoto yangu napea the graduates ni wafanye kazi yenye inakuja kwa njia yao bila kubagua. Bora hiyo kazi inaingiza pesa.
Right, time now for another break. When we come back, Ida Waringa will be in studio with all the sports stories making a headlines today. Stay with us.
Go get the stove.
Ni kama haiko.
What?
Kapatia mtu wa malimali akatu exchange na pegs.
My mini-me on his new bike. #goals, #child support.
Wewe tax au upate nimengoa mlango. Nikasafisha kila kitu kwa keja.
Spider wewe na kutambua.
I need more money for Liam's upkeep. That 50,000 is enough.
MYes Season 4.
Okash is the quickest and easiest way to request short-term loans from your mobile phone whenever you need them. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings in one day and choose between a 15 or 29-day term to repay it. Download Okash today from Google Play Store, enjoying the Okash experience.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
NTV Sport in association with Mozart Bet. SMS NTV to 29990.
A very good evening to you. Hoping your week has gotten off to a perfect start. I'm Ida Waringa. Let's get into the world of sport. We are starting things off with the best FIFA awards, where Virgil van Dijk did beat out both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi to the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award. But will he be able to do it again tonight at the best FIFA Men's Player Awards. Well, some of the Premier League's biggest names dominate other categories, with Liverpool's Alisson Becker and Manchester City's Edison shortlisted for the goalkeeper accolade, along Barcelona's Marc-Andre ter Stegen, I do beg your pardon, and Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp and Mauricio Pochettino.
Wake up to nothing but the best in news, conversation starters and hard-hitting interviews that keep you informed for the day ahead.
Up and early, 6 on the nose, these people don't sleep. Fix first the data protection law, then we come up with the number.
Exactly my question to CS Joe Michelle.
Welcome to Living With Us. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia. Boy, have you missed out.
Stop your wheel, game done.
Thank you for joining us on NTV today.
We have our reporters in different locations.
NTV is right here to bring you everything from the beginning to the end.
Hii ni NTV Sasa.
Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo yanafanyika.
Sasa ni kumtuliza. Hii inaitwa sensory integration.
Shughuli pevu ya kudunda viwanjani narejea kwake
na kurudisha hapa studioni.
Kuna mengi ambayo yanaendelea kujiri katika maeneo tofauti.
Tunavyoelewa nasema nini? Vimeundwa.
NTV in the morning. All you need to start your
Ilizae kama ajalema.
Serikali leta dawa gani?
It's almost a year, nothing has been done.
I just need some form of information.
Dr. Mugo Wairimu first hit the headlines when a video clip showing him raping an
stadium in Iten.
And the idea is to make sure that the facilities are available. We have